about the Jesuits going down and helping people in South America in the mid-1750s, helping them, the natives, the Guarani Indians, to come to know Christ and to work for justice for them. And at the beginning of the movie, we were introduced to a slave trader. And so he is a ruthless man, and he is far from God. And he literally catches the Indians so that they can be made into slaves. So there's a scene of the slaves, or the Indians, walking through the jungle, and they come over these nets. And as soon as they get over these nets are hauled up in the tree. And these human beings, our brothers and sisters, are like animals trapped in these nets. And they're taken and made to be slaves, taken from their culture, taken from their family, taken from everything. And so during the course of as the movie progresses, this man who's a slave trader comes through the Jesuits to know the touch of Christ and to know God in his life. And he wants to change that up. So a few scenes later, it shows him, this slave trader, with a net of all his own armor in this net, and it's tied to him, and he's pulling this rope, and he's climbing this treacherous waterfalls to go to the Guarani Indians and to give them his life, to apologize. So he is affected by God in his heart about what God is doing and calling him to be right, and he's going to make amends, and he's going to go to them, and he is going to seek forgiveness. So he arrives to these Indians finally, and it's a very tense time. We don't know how they're going to respond to what he has done to their own. He's very fierce, loyal to their own. And when he gets there, we see one of them approach him. We don't know what's going to happen, if his life is going to be taken or what. And there's a knife, and what he does is there's that rope to all his armor, and the Native American, or Native Indian, he cuts that rope, and he lets all his armor, this slave trader's armor, fall tens and tens of feet into the water. And it's just a dramatic moment of forgiveness. And this slave trader just doubles over, and he's weeping. And he's weeping because of the forgiveness that is found in that interaction. Forgiveness, Jesus has taught us, does come from him, but it comes through human beings. It comes from Jesus, but through human beings. That's how the message is radiated out. And that's what Jesus calls us to be for each other. To extend the glad tidings, the salvation to one another. And in that movie we see a very dramatic example of that forgiveness, the power of God to act. Another very powerful scene at the end of the movie is when those countries are coming in to take over the last Guarani Indians. And you have a choice. You can fight, and to fight for your life, and to fight for justice, to war, or to simply try to follow God and to be faithful to his message. It's a very challenging and provocative movie. But some chose to fight, and some chose to say, no, we will follow the Lord. And we will follow the Lord, and we will follow his truth in our lives. So the last scene, these countries are coming in to take over them. And one of the Jesuit priests is there with the Blessed Sacrament, and they're in procession as the enemies come to take them over and to slaughter them. And the Jesuit priest, he has the Blessed Sacrament, and he's shot. And he's shot down, and he dies on the ground. And the Blessed Sacrament is laying on the ground in the monstrance. And one of the Guarani Indians goes and picks that up and begins to walk with it. The truth marches on. The truth marches on. We cannot stop the truth. We cannot kill the truth. So my job is not your job, but your job is my job. I'm not in business, or I'm not, whatever do that. But my job is about the truth, and the truth marching on, and salvation coming. Your job is my job. Forgiveness comes through human beings sharing that with one another. And that is the way that God has set it up. The truth is marching on. Is it marching on through you?